Hello. This lesson is about feelings and what I refer to as faux feelings. Now, what do I mean when I refer to feelings? And if you go on the internet, you'll find out why there needs to be some explanation about this. Now, I define feelings as bodily sensations that signal whether your needs are being met or not being met by what's going on around you, as well as inside you. And as a general statement, positive feelings indicate needs are being met, and so-called negative feelings are a signal to you that your needs are not being met. And you might ask is, why does paying attention to your feelings matter? What benefit do you get from it? So paying attention to your feelings is a way of getting messages from the nonverbal part of yourself about what's going on, at least according to the nonverbal part of yourself's interpretation of the world that's going on outside of you. So our conscious awareness can process, I don't know, 10 or 20 bits of information per second. And the unconscious, nonverbal part of ourselves, it's something like 10 million bits of information per second, some huge difference. And that unconscious or nonverbal part of ourselves is scanning constantly for our well-being and for threats. So the evolutionary biologists say that it's scanning for three primary, not just threats. So threats to our well-being, opportunities to mate, and food. Those three things. So am I afraid that I'm going to be killed or attacked, or do I need to fight it? Or do I need to woo it, or do I need to, kill it and eat it? So to put it in kind of blunt, gross ways. So these feelings are incredibly informative, but since we, again, did not get delivered when we were babies with a manual as to how to operate this wetware, we need to learn these kinds of things. So that's the sort of my pitch on my understanding of feelings and what my interpretation of them are. Now, what kind of insights do you get when you know what your feelings and your needs are? And again, I've talked a little bit about the insights, but it also gives you a doorway into your needs. It's a doorway to try to interpret, to guess about what needs is this nonverbal part of yourself identifying when it's generating these feelings. So if you're feeling happy, or if you're feeling sad, you're feeling glad, you're feeling mad, if you identify the feeling, then you can ask yourself, okay, if I'm feeling that, what is my need? And then when you can articulate your need, you will begin to get physiological cues from your body that will communicate back to you that you've identified accurately the need. So it's limited, but it's a two-way communication system. Then also, these feelings and needs, when you apply it to people around you, even in multicultural settings, that since needs are universal, you can communicate with people in a better way, or a more useful, more valuable way, to communicate with people across cultures, and just across divides, political, cultural divides. And And sometimes that means just a family member who looks at the world a little bit differently or looks at the particular situation differently. So that's a critical value of needs. One time I was calling them the universal translator because I was doing so much international work. I've done trainings in now over something like 21 countries. And in every one, the organizer, nearly every one, the organizer, when I went there for the first time, and said, now we're different. We're not like those Americans or we're not like those Californians. We are different. We do things and you're going to have to change. We don't know what, but you're going to have to change it. And what I have found is I don't need to change it. That when I get to a group and I can get a translator who can help me limit that barrier as much as possible, the language barrier, that I have the same reactions to people when I identify their needs. I have the same verklempt kind of this kind of thing that I haven't been able to explain. I don't have any science for it, but that just saying a word, a need, can often bring tears. At the very least, it sort of renders a person speechless for a few moments. So that's some of the power of needs. But I'm going off onto needs. And I was talking about it as how do feelings as a doorway to the needs. Now I want to end this little piece about feelings on what I call faux feelings. So faux is the French word for false. So these are kind of false feelings. They're things that we call feelings, like I feel abandoned, I feel attacked. And I have put on the internet and there are various places long lists of these faux feelings. Which have an insidious capacity to divide and separate us. Because if I say that I'm feeling attacked or abandoned, I'm pointing my finger at somebody saying, you abandoned me, or you attacked, or you are attacking me. And that is going to create disconnection and separation, because particularly if it's true, but if it's not true, it's true that you're feeling something, and there are these feelings that are behind these lists that I've provided, and they translate into what the feelings might be. So if I'm angry, I might be feeling actually amazingly sad, or hurt, or disappointed, and perhaps other feelings. If I'm angry, if I'm abandoned, again, I might feel hurt. I might feel, disappointed or regretful, or I might feel angry. So that's this idea of faux feelings and why it's important to be able to distinguish them and to be able to in the moment, instead of using the word that's popping into our mind like abandon, we can actually pause for a second and identify the feeling and say how we're feeling. Because when you tell someone what you're feeling, that's something that they can relate to, that is not interfered with by metaphor or simile or any of these kind of literary, and we don't have to have a common narrative. You don't need to understand my life history you just can understand, oh, he's sad, he's happy, he's glad. I know what sad, happy, glad means. And I have an immediate understanding and relationship to this. So that's why I think making the distinction between feelings and faux feelings is so important, and then to translate faux feelings into the feelings that are underneath it. Anyway, so this concludes my lesson on feelings and faux feelings, and thank you for your time and attention. And I'll catch you coming around on the other side.